Okay. Hello?
Well, it's gonna be very, very fast. I think Child, I haven't heard from Child. We haven't anything with last time. Make sure I'm telling the truth. No.
One of these. So turn this down. Yeah.
Oh, okay, well, it says, should I start it? No, it's already started.
Yeah.
It is being hard.
Mhm.
Sorry. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, your audio is going through.
Okay.
You're muted on these, but I can put the little sound.
Yeah, no, that doesn't sound good at all. Yeah, I don't think we can do that. Well, do you want anything to eat? I got seltzer water upstairs and some rice cakes. Oh, Catherine's logging in. Yeah, if I can, my on screen, yeah, I think okay. So I think Natasha will be here in person.
We got here, saw the parking lot full, I thought, full, who do we hear from?
Did you try reading your audio?
Me?
Yeah.
See when you meet it. Make sure we start.
says?
I don't know. So should I just cut this out?
Yeah, cut that one out.
No, I think you just have to turn on. But you could still use your microphone, it's just hearing what's on.
All right.
Okay, so we'll just keep it off.
Yeah, because this one will play the sound, and yeah, it's also on.
But it's recording, right?
It is recording. It's
We
live
will
as
not
well.
make this second, but it will record, right?
It-
It's record right now.
Yeah, I can start it right now.
Hello.
All right, so now it's recording and streaming.
YouTube.
And Catherine, can you hear us?
Yes. All good. All good.
And I just got the letter from Jen today. So, wait, is that print? So I had to ask Coop to print stuff because. No, that was the minutes. Right, okay, yep, there's the minutes. Yeah, the printer here is broken, so Coop printed stuff for me, so I hope I sent him everything to print. There's one more. China's on Zoom. Or should be joining us on Zoom.
I'm here. Hi, guys.
I'm here, I guess.
I can't see
I
like
can't
who's on
see like who's on
at the
the
community forge.
community forge.
Also, there's like a
Also,
echo.
there's like an echo.
It might be the TV and it's computer. Hi. I don't know.
Let me call,
There we go.
person.
And hold on. Yeah, because it's connected to the computer, so it should echo. But you can see us, right?
Yeah, I could see you guys.
Yeah,
now.
I can see you guys now.
Okay. How's the audio?
I mean, it sounds okay, except
sounds
the
okay,
echo.
except
It's like
the echo. It's like
actually two of me talking.
two of me talking.
Yeah, the echo is
Yeah,
bad.
the echo is bad.
Yeah.
And you too, Paul. Your echo's bad. Your echo's bad.
We can't hear it here. Yeah, we can, but, I'm gonna get our.
Yeah, and I don't know which device it's.
Yeah.
Is it still there?
Is it still there?
Oh, it is.
Oh,
Okay.
it is. Okay.
I'm not going to be able to do this the whole meeting.
Do this the whole meeting.
Right, so, yeah, let me call him.
Yeah. Because I want to assume that these are separate, but I don't think they are. Because it's this speaker that I think she's hearing here. And I can't turn it off because it'll turn this off. Is the iPad on mute? Yeah, I was trying to. It doesn't have audio on the iPad. So it's something about these two.
I can.
So they're hearing? Yeah.
Yeah, whenever they talk, it's like they're hearing it, like the echo, we can't hear it on this end, but they hear it on there.
Should I say something? I say something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there still an audio? I mean, is there still an echo?
Yeah. There.
There is?
Yeah, I'm still hearing myself.
Oh, it's because it's hearing it off the TV. Yeah, I just kept it away from this because it was making like a ringing noise.
So maybe face it this, what's this one doing?
This one's like showing you guys. So.
The one you have is showing us.
Oh.
This is showing us.
Yeah, this one's on two.
Oh, so this is supposed to show
No,
us.
I think that one's showing it, because that's the one that's like, the camera's moving as you.
Right, it's right
I
there
see
in the
that.
corner. Yeah, this one.
Oh, I see what you mean. So you can mute that one?
Yeah, this one's muted. I can mute this.
We can't hear you guys now when that one's muted.
Yeah.
Unmute this one. Leave it away from the TV. And turn. How about now?
Let me see this.
I can hear you.
Is there an echo?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, there is.
Really? Oh, man.
Maybe, trying to try.
Echo.
Just this.
It's there.
But yeah, they're hearing themselves on the TV as
So
feedback.
if we disconnect the TV, will that solve the problem?
Yeah.
Then let's disconnect the TV. Sorry about that, everybody. Okay, echo now?
Is there an echo?
There's still an echo?
No, I think I think it's good.
Yeah, I think it's good now.
Just because
Thank you.
I'm sure glad I didn't have to fix that.
We should write down what this was so we can remember this setup for the rest of the weeks.
Right?
I got it. Sorry, y'all.
Oh, no,
Thank
you're good.
you.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's call the meeting to order. It's 6:40. Sorry, I'm not there in person. I planned to be, but then it was Monday and it happened. All right, so roll call. China Lee, I'm here. Natisha Washington,
Here.
Ashley Cummins,
Here.
Renee Donnie,
Here.
Paul O'Hanlon,
Here,
Vanessa McCarthy Johnson,
Here.
Catherine Wakefield.
Here.
Thank you. And we also have Mandy here, our attorney, and we have Jennifer Searce on the phone, and we have a public guest, Mr. Logan. So,
And we just had another one, walk in, Kate Luxembourg.
and Kate, yay. All right, so the first item on the agenda is public comment. Is there anybody who has public comment?
I have public comment.
All right, you have 3 minutes. Can you state your name?
Kate Luxembourg, 432 Rebecca Avenue, Wilkinsburg, PA. As it seems, correct me if I'm wrong, that there are 2 lists so far of houses to be acquired. And I shared one list with Natisha because I spoke about 2 houses on that list that are not viable, not rehabable. And I think the selection process should involve board members being asked to say, oh, yes, we're voting on this. We want to acquire these houses. No way. That's not really doing a board member's work. This list that's on this agenda, item number 4, has some properties on it. These are all evidently, they seem to be viable houses, walking distance to Turner School, which was the original idea. That's a good thing. But some of them are really impossible unless the house next door, which is a terrible, terrible falling down horror show. Not only is it blighted, but it's dangerous, is dealt with in some way. So there are problems with either 2 or 3 of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 properties in item 4. Thank you.
Thanks, Kate. Did you want to say which numbers or which houses you thought were at issue?
What I have here is my list of addresses that's not correlated with the lot blocks, but I'll tell you by address. Yes, by address. Okay. 1615 Montier has a wreck of a house next door, 232 L181. And I have not yet checked 1616 Montier. It is the middle of a row. The 2 on either side, you should understand what their situation is before proceeding, because they're attached.
Okay, So 1615 and 1616 Montier.
1615 Montier has something terrible right next door. And 1616 Montier is the middle of a row, and I have not yet looked at what's going on with 1614 and 1618. I mean, that could create big costs, and that should be looked at. Every house should be looked at with its immediate surroundings.
Okay, thank you. Was there any other public comment? All
No.
right. Okay. So we'll, do a double check on the list, Kate. Thank you for bringing that up. So the next item on the agenda are meetings from August. The minutes from August, sorry. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve, Ashley.
Is there a second?
A second.
Okay. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any noes? Any abstentions? Okay, motion carries. All right. Next is on the agenda is to ratify the resolution for the GED TF application. That's to apply for the grant, Renee?
Yeah, so the GED, if that was my mistake, I thought that it was due in November. It was due in August. Thank you, Catherine. So that could have been bad. But I did get it on time, and so we need to pass the concurring resolution allowing the application for the grant. So
Okay.
ETF, it's the Gaming Economic Development Tourism Fund, and we have received $150,000 from this program in the past.
Do you need a motion?
Okay,
Yes.
yeah. I'm trying to look in my list of documents because we have you sent the resolution draft. Okay. Okay, so is there a motion to ratify the concurring resolution for the GED TF application so that we can apply for that every year?
Wakefield moves.
Letitia, second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any abstentions? Any noes? Sorry, I should have said noes first. Okay. Hearing none, motion carries. All right, next on the agenda is the motion to adopt the addendum to the ICA for the Wilkinsburg School District approval process, which align the language with the Wilkinsburg Borough addendum to not have a super majority for the vote for that taxing body to approve houses and for it to be a quorum instead.
Motion.
Okay. And is there a second?
Vanessa seconds.
All right, all in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Any noes? Any abstentions? Hearing none, motion carries. Okay, so next on the agenda is I guess we need a motion to approve the mailing of the 60-day acquisition notice for the following properties, and there's a list of 7 properties. We did have Kate point out, that maybe some of the houses we should do a double check. Is there a motion to approve this list with the caveat that we would, just check and make sure that these would be viable houses, like based on if it's a row and it's one house in the middle of a row? I agree that that's probably not, like a good plan if we're not planning to do something with the other ones if there's an issue. So, sorry, my motion was too long. But is there a motion to approve the list that we currently have with the caveat that we'll make sure that we have plans for the other houses or something like that? Somebody may want to say it more eloquently.
I make that motion.
I'll second.
So I just wanted to make a comment, because I believe, Paul, you said this at our meeting last month, and I think similar to the comment that Kate had, when I looked at the email that you shared with the Google Maps for properties, that as we continue to add new homes to acquire, before we do it, we do check it to see, like, is this really something we can do? Just because there's one house that's on Marie Street that I've walked past it a couple times. So I'm personally just curious, is it really viable? And I think
We haven't been, so here's the thing, we aren't allowed to go inside.
not inside, I
Right.
mean from the outside.
They looked good to me.
Okay, so you did walk
Oh,
through.
yeah, I'll give them.
Okay,
And,
okay.
and again, it's not, we don't have the luxury of every crappy looking house, right? We have the uncollectible list.
Right.
And so that doesn't mean that we're gonna get everything, we're gonna get what's on the uncollectible list, and that like
Yeah,
limits
yeah,
what
yeah.
we can pick.
No, and I do understand that. I just think,
No, we don't want anything that we're just gonna end up having to beg for money from the borough to bulldoze, and then we've got a vacant lot we can't do anything with.
right.
Yeah,
Okay,
no,
that's
no,
all I wanted to just, because this is new for all of us. And
Right,
I think
right,
that
no.
we, found
No.
properties and, because I was writing some addresses down too for that question, and I was like, I know I didn't go look at all of them, but that one, I'm like, I love that. So I just wanted to make sure we're checking.
There's the first two on Marie.
Yeah, it was 1557 specifically. It's covered in trees, but
Is that which side of the street is that on?
if
the
you're
outside.
coming up from
Yeah,
Turner
yeah.
on the right.
Yeah. There's the White House and then there's a brick house. So the White House is the one that I would, because it's wood and I would be more worried about that one. That's the first one and it's one story. The brick house I thought looked fine.
Yeah, it's not the brick house. This one is like literally behind trees. 15.
They've cleaned it up.
You know,
They've
it
cleaned
doesn't
it
look
out.
like this now. Yeah,
They've cleaned it
so,
out.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is an old
And I don't know who cleaned it
Yeah.
out.
And it's not this house, is it? It's behind this.
I can't tell from there.
Yeah.
No, I can't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay. That's all I wanted to check, as long
So-
as we're doing our due diligence.
And here's the thing, what we're voting on is the 60-day acquisition notice, right? And so this means that we send it to the school district and we send it to the borough, and it means that we ask NBM to do a title search. It is not
Confirming that
moving
these
into
houses.
sheriff's sale.
Got it. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, and the problem with not legally being able to get into the houses is you don't know. You really
No,
don't.
I get.
I had a friend who bought a house at sheriff's sale. This is why I would never buy a house at sheriff's sale. And then I went with him when he called me after he got into it, and I went in, and like the house is beautiful on the outside, and then you go on the inside, and that center pole was rotted out, and the whole house was just sloping, and it was just.
So
Anyway.
I have a question. So two things. So okay, say like you said, because we are buying these on sheriff's sale, and then we have a developer come look at them afterwards. Two questions. At any point, can we have an engineer look at them? And
Yeah.
then after we get them, and then two, if we find that they are not viable, will we be able to tear them down and then sell the lot?
So I think the Act 153 or whatever, the demolition money is not that hard to get. So I think we would be able to find demolition money. It seems like that's easy money to find. The problem is the lots are usually not redevelopable because they're sized in ways that are too small for modern building standards. The whole zoning law for how parcels are allowed to be created is different than it was 150 years ago. And so a lot of our parcels, if you bulldoze a house on them, it's just that. Yep.
So I'm very familiar with Act 152. It's
Right.
Act 152. And the issue is with Act 152 is they do not want to give people municipalities money to tear down one house at a time. They'd rather see you do 5 houses just because of that, 5 houses in a row. So what would happen is if we would find that house not viable, it would hopefully be one of those ones that has something nearby that we can tear down beside it to have 2 or 3 lots. because we were just in a planning commission where we just had somebody come in and they want to buy 5 lots to put in a new house. So that's what you hope to do. And so, yeah, so keep those kind of things in mind as well, because yeah, we are buying these houses at sheriff's sale and we have to hope that they're developable. But if they're not, we have to be able to have a reason how do we dispose of them?
You're
Because
right.
otherwise we're going to be in the exact same situation we were before. Either we go to somebody like PHLF that will say, yeah, we'll do it because, they take the risk and will do a house because it has some historical value. Otherwise, we're just going to have to tear it down and have a lot.
So real quick, just to interject, so I've been in conversations for a couple of years now with Habitat for Humanity, with Jason Taigano of Level Redevelopment, and several other nonprofit redevelopers. My point is that there are also nonprofit redevelopers who live to redevelop big old houses, right? That cost way too much money for the market. So I do think that as long as we pick things that have kind of extrinsic value, right? Like a nice big house, even if it needs a lot of money to fix up, is still something that somebody might be willing to do, right? So.
Yeah, and I think also that's part of, us having the ability to have like different buckets of houses for people. So like, for instance, if 616 Montier, that's an uncollectible house, but maybe 614 and 618 are also tax delinquent, but they're just not on the uncollectible list. And they also can go to sheriff's sale. And that's something that we can work with the borough and the school district and MBM to kind of say, okay, here's this package. And we can talk to a nonprofit developer to say, hey, we have this, row of houses or whatever. We do still have the ability to work together and do something like that also.
Yeah, because I know developers look for those kind of packages, because I put together a package like that in Homestead where there were row houses that needed to be demolished. The borough went after the Act 152 money, got those demolished, while the developer went after money to rebuild some new townhomes. So yeah, developing those partnerships are critical and they can really, really be beneficial.
For the engineering survey, there's a fee with that. Will we be able to cover that, or do we know an engineer that can?
I ran into an engineer from CEC that I knew. So in theory, yes, but I don't remember his name. But yeah, he said I would love to come out and look at your houses, and he's at CEC, and I know him from watershed stuff, and I forgot his name, but yes.
Okay.
He's been in my back pocket for like a while, but he said he would do it.
And I work with CEC a lot, so if you can find out who that is, I can reach out.
What I discovered in sort of the street view walking tour that I sent a link to people with.
By the way,
What's that?
That was great, Paul. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, from a sort of an objective perspective, I thought like, okay, this is a nice, decent neighborhood, and every so often there was a blighted home that I'm sure the neighbors hate the fact that it's taking their property value down. It's just the reality, and that if we can, remove the tax liens and make the property more attractive to developers, then everybody wins, is the reality. And that, sometimes, I'm sure that we'll miss in the sense that it will be a unviable structure that will end up needing a process to ultimately take down. But in the end, it's still probably going to be better for the neighborhood. So I think that, to some extent, these are, there might occasionally be charity cases, I would say, where we're just doing a neighborhood a favor. And it still, I think, accomplishes our mission. It was interesting, again, looking at it from a top. It really, you could identify the houses we were taking because from above, they look like nature was taking them over. Like the one house I think Ashley was referring to, you couldn't even see it. It was like behind a forest. And, in the end, the neighbors can be better with that property being dealt with whatever we find.
Hey, this is Catherine. I don't want to overcomplicate things, but is there any chance that we could just consider the possibility of, say there's a tear down next to one of our houses? Could we make that like a joint parcel so that our eventual recipient of the house would have, a yard area for their family or whatever,
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. And I think as we start moving forward, we'll find more and more properties where different disposition policies make more sense. And where the fact that we can kind of be creative.
And that could work with the Act 152, say, hey, look, this is in combination with this program, that this would benefit this neighborhood this way. So yeah, that may work, have 5 or 6 houses that are in conjunction with our acquisitions. So yeah, that could work very well.
Yeah, and like Paul said, it is charity work, right? Like we are trying to make streets better. And if there's not a plan for a house, like there's nobody coming behind us with a better plan than us. There really isn't for these houses that aren't viable. So.
Okay, so there's a motion to approve, making sure, we'll just double check again to make sure the houses are okay, but there's a motion to approve and a second to move these forward with the 60-day acquisition notice, so long that, they meet our goals and accomplish our objective. So, if there's no more discussion on it, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any noes? Any abstentions? All right, motion carries. Next is to approve the engagement letter with MBM to pursue the sheriff's sale actions against land bank identified properties.
I'll move. Wakefield.
All right.
Second.
Vanessa, is that Vanessa?
Yes.
Okay. All right. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Are there any noes? Any abstentions? All right, hearing none, the motion carries.
I do have one question though, because I read that they changed their fees annually. Are we trying to get this in before that change? It says that we have the right to change our fees, which we do on an annual.
Yes, so. And I think Jen is here if we wanted to ask questions. So is this on page 2?
Yeah, I'm just making sure that
I
we're
think.
trying to meet that.
No, right, and because this just came in today, so I was assuming we might want some more conversation about it.
I think that was the only thing that was like, changed.
Okay, please note that we reserve the right to change our hourly rates, which are typically adjusted on an annual basis.
So we need to get this contract done over January.
Okay. Did you want to ask if they thought the prices were going to change? I can't.
Yeah, if we can ask that.
Yeah, Jen's on.
Okay.
Hi, this is Jennifer Surse. At this point, given the nature of your operation, I don't foresee any changes at this point. We throw that in there just to, cover ourselves, and we make most of our changes based on or for our private clients, not for public clients.
Thank you for clarity. That was all. Thank you.
Okay, so next on the agenda, that motion had carried, so I'm just moving to the next item. All right, so next on the agenda is an update on public outreach and communications and some discussion about some events and stuff.
Yeah.
Renee, did you want to?
Yep, so we are having a public event on September 21st from 4 to 6. We'd originally had it a little bit earlier, but Linda Atkins and the Wilkinsburg Arts Committee is having an event, so that's from 2 to 4. So we will have our event on Saturday from 4 to 6. And it's basically just going to be kind of an open house. I'm going to ask some people to table, like Catapult. I don't know if anybody else has, we've talked about different people that come to table, but basically it's just an open house for people with questions. And we'll have a second one October 10th. And that is a Thursday from 6 to 8. China, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to ask if you wanted to make a flyer for the events. If not, I'll just,
Yeah, I can.
kids upstairs do it.
No, I can.
Okay.
I was gonna say, as far as tabling, since I think we need to have some estate planning component there, I think that it would be awesome if possible. I mean, I don't know, I guess because it's like a Saturday evening. I don't know if they're available, but like if the Pit Law Clinic or if the Allegheny County Bar Association or somebody can do, I guess they still have like the Wills program through the Allegheny County Bar Association, but like if somebody could be there, they don't have to do it, but they can like, sign people up to talk about, their plans and stuff. So even if they're not giving advice, just to sign up. Sorry, I'll meet.
No, that's fine. The Bar Foundation woman came out in December, and I'll reach out to her again. I just forgot.
Do you want any kind of financial planners there?
Yes.
That's what I was thinking, banks, financial planning.
Yeah. Huntington Bank would be great. I know because they came out to Waha and Dollar Bank.
Vanessa was saying something and I was starting to say something. I have something from someone from First Commonwealth who also, First Commonwealth, they wanted to send somebody to our meeting, the business banker. They have a lot of resources to throw our way, so we can invite them too.
Yeah, that sounds great, Catherine.
And if you reach out to Catapult, I would have so many recommendations they may have too.
Okay.
Yeah, and I have somebody that's a personal financial advisor that can talk to people that are ready to start looking at retirement as well.
Yeah, because that really does need to be a component of all of this, is helping people think about their estates and long-term financial planning.
And are we like assuming that this is the same format? Maybe we can invite some of the banks for September and some for October or something like that. But is this going to be the same format for October, or is that something different?
No, same format, just repeating it twice. And because we have to, because we said we would, so we have to.
Yeah. So, maybe we can have some, because it sounded like we had multiple banks. So.
Got you right. So split it. That makes sense.
Have we identified any things that we want to hit the banks up for?
Not specifically, Paul, but I think this is really an opportunity to start talking about things like Section 8 home ownership. And, I don't think the Dollar Bank has like the Mortgages for Moms program, but I'm willing to bet that we could start talking to banks about doing something like that again.
I mean, one of the things about looking at the property is that it makes me think that we need a forestry department. It's trees are just everywhere. And so clearing the lot becomes actually a big job. And I wonder if, banks would, in effect, invest in that as, sort of a PR thing, invest in the, Wilkinsburg Community Land Bank. We could put signs up saying that, this bank or that bank, supported the clearing of this lot or whatever. I don't know. I just think that, we should be hitting these guys up for money.
Yeah, I think you're right. So we do have funding for kind of basic yard maintenance. We should have enough money for that, I should say. I wrote it into the grant and hopefully that'll work out. So, but what we don't have is, money for, we know that a lot of these guys who are small business contractors need access to capital, right? That's the biggest thing that keeps these small contractors from being able to do larger redevelopment projects is the access to capital, like period. So, yeah, no, it'd be great to get bankers in the room and just start, and who knows what they're interested in doing, right? Like they may be under some kind of consent decree where they have to spend money to do something, and you know what I mean? And so we can help them do that, you never know.
Do we want like any vacant lot restoration people as well? Or we
Okay, Natasha, could you speak? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Speaking of, I was asking, do we want any like vacant lot, like restoration, vacant lot people in this? Or are we trying to find resources for people to be able to clear the vacant lot?
So you mean like the lots that are just like not ones with houses, but like just vacant lots in general?
That there are, I mean, yes, I would say yes to that. There are some programs that do like for housing under contract as well. I'm just thinking of it as a resource because it was mentioned clearing up these vacant lots. But if this is focused on like just capital, that's fine too. I'm just thinking.
Yeah, I mean, the problem with the vacant lots is until somebody owns them, nobody has the right to go on there.
So it wouldn't be a valuable resource for
Not
contractors.
right now. Yeah, I mean, because I don't want people to get in trouble or like, you know what I mean? Like yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how.
The borough owns a lot of vacant lots though, that I have suggested to them before. Like I have the information. There's like a lot of cities who hire contractors and like landscapers to maintain the lots. And I had brought that to their attention and there was no interest, but.
So we're actually going to have a presentation about that in our next blight and infrastructure meeting. I invited Land Force. I don't know how familiar everybody is with Land Force. I invited Land Force to come do a presentation to talk about like who they are, what they do, and they actually do contractual work as well. So they are to be presenting on how they do that contract work, especially with like municipalities, city areas, because they've done a lot of different vacant lot work. So it is going to be proposed. I am going to emphasize on it because we do have a lot of vacant lots that we don't have the capacity with just our DPW to maintain. And if we have an organization that's hiring people locally, we should support that.
Yeah, there was, I mean, so the model that I had looked at, when I talked about it, also one of the issues is that the DPW workers are in a union. And so technically that is their job, like to do it because the borough owns the land and they are in a union. So there was an issue, with hiring somebody else to do it. So I never figured out, like I didn't look further into it because there was no interest. But that was one thing. But the other thing, the program that I looked at, what I really liked about it was that it didn't hire people. It allowed like local landscapers to like bid on projects. So like they can bid on a street or something like that, or, like some package of streets depending on how big they are and what their capacity is. Like, so, if it's a package of like 5 lots, or if it's 10 or 20, or, they're going to do 5 blocks or whatever, but it allowed for local people to have their own business, not just like work for somebody else. So I thought that was like a good idea, but I'll send it to you.
Oh, thank you. Please do. I'm a little off topic, so.
Yeah, we're way off topic. All right. So
It was interesting. I mean, it kind of segues, right?
All right. So social media. So I said I'll do the flyers and then social media.
Yeah, and so we'll post it all on the social media. I meant to put on their website. So we've worked on the website. If you guys want to take a look at it and let me know any changes you think should be made or anything you want to add to it, it's not urgent.
I'm on it now.
Yeah.
I sent my picture for you.
Yep, it should be up.
It was.
It's not
Your picture's up.
okay.
I talked to him about it today, so it should.
Well, maybe they didn't get to it yet, but right now I just have the land bank logo. And
Yeah.
then is the to be determined like open seat?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, mine is the only one that's not there, but other than that, it looks.
He
good.
did get it today, or I talked to him about it today.
Yeah, so that's fine.
Yeah. No, I mean I talked about it before. but
Okay.
and I was like, here are the things.
So speaking of open seat, that's a nice segue to the next thing, which is this board member recruitment strategy. So we need a new board member, and the position that's open is for a qualified professional. So qualified in something to do with the land bank business,
So I,
you know,
with
having
Catherine-
insight into that.
sorry to jump the gun, but I'm so excited about this. So Catherine, I was just talking to a friend of mine who was involved in a program called Vista like 30 years ago that was doing not a land bank model, but basically they were getting architects involved that would donate their time, or private sponsors would pay for the architects. AIA was involved in this. I feel like maybe like when we reconstruct these houses, we may need architects for like code and stuff. So I feel like maybe we need to reach out into the you know, architectural, you know, sort of arena, because that's a core competency we do not have.
There's a
You're right.
team member that's an architect that I met this past year. She lives over in Ward 2. I could, you know, reach out to her and see if she has any interest.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think that's a really good point, Catherine. Right. We do need some, like an engineer or somebody with the right eyes who can tell us.
We also, the borough engineer, Glenn, from Glenn, Dave, lives in Wilkinsburg, might want to add, you know, see, because we also could use an engineer.
Yeah, definitely.
So, you know, we can always reach out to Dave and see if he'd be willing, because I know he sits on the water board,
Zoning, I think, right?
No, Wilkinsburg Water Authority. I don't know if he's on zoning or not, but I know he sits on the Wilkinsburg Joint Water Authority. What is it? I don't even know the name of it anymore.
Wilkinsburg Penn Joint.
Yeah, thank you. I'm like
WPJWA.
Yes, I completely like lost the acronym. But yeah, so he's there, and he, you know, we know he knows Wilkinsburg intimately. So that would also be another resource that we could use.
I think my only thought is just making it open, like, so people don't feel like someone is handpicked. So I don't know if that's a matter of us just asking people to.
Or putting up something online or something.
Put it on the website.
The website, social media. Yep. I think the borough and the school district probably could do some kind of communication about it, and then and I think it's free for boards with nonprofit talent, so you could do that. And then once we get the applications, I don't know, I mean, my experience, of course, for board appointments is only school boards, so I don't know if no, school board and POM, we did interviews. So I don't know if we want to do an interview process, then ranked choice voting, and let the cards fall how they fall.
I mean, that would be the fairest thing, right?
I think you can also post it on LGA. I'm pretty sure. Local Government Academy.
Yeah, wherever we could post, connect, whoever wants to share it out.
So we just need a flyer, basically. Okay, we need a flyer, call a board member.
But I think my more so concern is like our decision process that we want to make sure is transparent and equitable. So,
Ashley, I feel like we might need, like, as things evolve and get a little bit more, you know, under sort of the operations is full swing, I think we might need a governance committee kind of. I mean, we have our bylaws, we have all the infrastructural stuff, but I think a governance committee, like, to set these parameters. Yeah. And people that have a lot of board experience, I think, are going to be like the drivers of that. So
I definitely don't mind supporting that, and I agree 100%, especially with all of the questions and concerns just from community about how this process will work, how are we selecting people, how will people be able to purge. I think a governance committee is exactly what we need.
So do we want to set up an ad hoc committee then?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I knew we discussed an ad hoc, right, but we didn't give it a name of governance committee, but I think,
I like that idea. I don't know, what do you think, China?
Yeah, I think that sounds good.
So how do we want to set it up?
We just set a meeting day and people can come. So.
What?
But I think we need to find a board member first.
Okay.
We need to get applications.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we need to put the information out that we're looking for a board member, and.
So I will put a flyer together for call for a board member. I'll send it out to you guys to make sure you like the text and then start sending it out.
And then I guess ad hoc, I mean, I'm really not trying to add another meeting.
I was gonna say.
But I wouldn't be an ad hoc committee before this meeting starts, so maybe it would be like a 5:30 meeting on this Monday.
It's not like I do anything before this meeting, so that works for me.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
You know, you guys, while we're on this subject too, I think that as we sort of grow and get like our, actual like the process underway, and other boards that I'm on might have committees that have professionals or residents or whatever on them that are not board members, So we can have people like limited commitment, expertise that like sits, like the synergy with the need,
Yep.
Right, yeah, no, that's a really good point. As we expand, as we grow, yeah.
Okay, so, can we, are we deciding to make this meeting before the board meeting? Or is this something we're gonna talk about, like we're gonna do the board member recruitment, make sure we have that out by the next meeting and then discuss like maybe this governance committee to start meeting after that, or what are you guys thinking?
I said that works as like a time for now, and whenever we meet.
Yeah, I mean, our next meeting is October, so I
Do you
would
wanna meet
imagine
before
by,
then?
no, I would
Okay.
imagine by October, we would have a call out for new board members and then maybe start the ad hoc committee in November. Are we meeting in December? I guess
I
we
don't-
would meet in December.
Well, the committee could meet. The
Yeah,
committee could meet, and if we need to ratify a recommendation, we could do it by email.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I just personally don't want to add another day in another meeting, so I'd like to keep it the same.
that works for me.
Heard.
And it's probably the easiest for me to get here, and I still feel that way, so.
I was thinking it might give you a break, right? Like dinner's on you, honey, I'm going across the street.
So yeah, we maybe shoot for November to start the governance ad hoc.
Okay,
Okay.
all right, that sounds good. All right, so I don't think we needed to vote on that stuff. So anyway, is there a motion to adjourn?
Yes, Wakefield.
Perfect timing. 'Cause I have to-
Vanessa seconds it.
Oh, somebody got-
Alrighty.
I have you a second unit. It's my room.
Oh, okay.
Who seconded?
Vanessa.
It's good
I
to
got Vanessa.
see you coming, and thank you for your input. I will go look at the houses.
All right, guys, thank you. Sorry,
Have a great night,
like I said,
everyone.
couldn't be there in person. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye, China,
Bye,
thank
guys.
you.
See ya.
We gotta, I just say pray.
Stop the meeting.
I didn't just do
I
that.
think from this
That
laptop.
is just ridiculous.
Right, it's not mine.
Oh wait, here is there. This one. This is
Shay
one of the
got no choice but
passwords.
to be all right, but she came in here and gave comments and we.
Oh, I don't know what any of that means.
Shut it.
Yeah.